The sequence you're about to see has been developed through many years of studying yoga and the human body. I've been teaching it with great success due to the fact that it creates a positive impact on people's lives. It is a systematic sequence that not only stretches the body, bringing blood to critical areas, but a sequence that uses the energies of the body to heal and recharge. It is very precise and scientific, so please be aware of all the instructions. It is the only way that you can benefit 100% from these poses. Namaste.
For this therapeutic class, you will need 2 cork blocks, a strap of 8 feet or longer, and a bolster that is firm and rounded to the contours of your body. You will be cued on how to use the props throughout the course of this class.
So we're going to start by opening the muscles in between the rib cage and expanding the lung cavity. And for that, you're going to lay down on the bolster, but only the thoracic spine goes on the bolster. Maria, go ahead, lay down. Your shoulders are going to be over the bolster. Make sure that your shoulders are not supported on the bolster. In that way, your thoracic spine is on the bolster, stretching the muscles in between the rib cage. I want you to open the arms on the sides, palms up, and drop your head on the floor, placing the top of your head on the floor, as well as your hips. Your hips should be grounded on the floor. Extend your legs, feet together, and point your toes. And from here, you're going to start taking deep inhalations and exhalations. Now, if you, by any chance, have a little vertigo, what you do is you grab a block and lift your head up, and instead of dropping your head all the way down to the floor, you support your head on a block. Okay? And the reason why we drop the head on the floor is so also the weight of your head, lift your head up again, the weight of your head pulls your sternum up, as well as the roundness of the bolster is allowing that stretch of the muscles in between the rib cage. So you're going to stay here and inhale and exhale for at least 10 times. And then what I want you to do is I want you to bring your arms up. Straighten your arms, and I want you to interlace your fingers. Your index are pointing at the ceiling. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, drop your arms over your head all the way down to the floor if you can. Making sure that your hips are still grounded on the floor, your legs together, feet together, and your toes are pointed. Couple of breaths here, and bring your arms up again. Pointing at the ceiling, inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, drop your arms over your head again. All the way down to the floor if you can. At least 6 breaths here. And then one more time, you bring your arms up, pointing at the ceiling. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, drop your arms over your head. Now, once you are here on the last one, I want you to flex your feet. Your toes are pointing at the ceiling, and I want you to slowly walk your feet to the right without turning your hips. Your hips are still squared to the ceiling. Bring your feet together, feet are flexed. I want you to grab your left wrist and pull your left arm to the right. So the stretch goes from your left heel all the way up to your left hand. Don't bring your arm in front of your face. Keep your arm behind your head. You're going to take 10 breaths, and then you return to center. And then slowly walk your feet to the left. Grab your right wrist and pull your right arm to the left. And again, the stretch will go from your heel all the way to your right hand. Your hips are still square to the ceiling. 10 breaths on this side, and then return to center. Now, I want you to bend your knees. Keep your right arm over your head and roll your body to the right. So the right side of your rib cage is now supported on the bolster. The first thing you do is you want to straighten your legs, your feet together, your heels are aligned with the top of your head, active feet, active legs, activation of the core. You rest your head against your right biceps, bring your left arm over your head, grab your left wrist, and pull your left arm away from you, opening the left side of your rib cage. The left side of your rib cage goes up to the ceiling. Now, we want to activate the whole body. Even though we're only opening this area right now, the whole body is active. Your legs, your feet, your arms, because we're moving the energy around. And this is one of the most particular and specific things about this class, is that we're not only doing stretches, physical stretches, but we're moving the energy of the body around. What you want to do as you pull your left arm away from you is to bring that arm behind your ear and look under your left armpit. You're going to stay here for 10 to 15 breaths, and then you release, and then you keep turning. So now your chest is going to be supported on the bolster. You want to make sure that your elbows are on the floor and your forearms are parallel. Spread your fingers, ground your hips on the floor, ground your thighs on the floor, and your feet are hip distance apart. What I want you to do now is I want you to press your hips and thighs on the floor and look up at the ceiling, arching your lower back. This is called Sphinx pose. 6 to 10 breaths. And after that, you're going to move your right hand towards your left elbow, okay, supporting your spine. Then you're going to bend your left knee, and you're going to reach your ankle or your foot with your left hand. If you cannot reach, you can always use a strap. So you bring the strap around your ankle and you grab the strap. Before you bring your heel to your sitting bone, you want to make sure that both of your hips are grounded on the floor as well as your thighs. Also, you don't want to open your knees too far apart. You want to keep your knees hip distance apart. You also don't want to collapse your body. Some people try to collapse the body. You don't. You want to lengthen your spine and gaze in front of you. And release. Elbows in front of you, forearms parallel, spread your fingers, look up at the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, again, inhale one more time. Exhale, and bring your left hand towards your right elbow, bend your right knee, reaching with your right hand, or again, you have the option of using the strap. Don't lean to one side or the other one. Make sure that both of your hips and thighs are grounded on the floor before you pull your heel to your sitting bone. Gaze in front of you. And again, you're going to take from 6 to 10 breaths on this side, and then release. Extend your left arm in front of you and roll this way. So you keep rolling. Now the left side of your rib cage is supported on the bolster. You align your heels with the top of your head, rest your head against your left biceps, bring your right arm over your head, grab your wrist, and pulling your right arm away from you. As you pull the arm, see if you can bring in behind your ear, your feet together, flex your feet, and right side of your rib cage goes up to the ceiling. Ten breaths. And then you're going to release and complete your turn. It's a full circle. And then once you complete your turn, come into a seated position. And I want you to grab the bolster, bring it against your hips, sit on the bolster, and you're going to lay down. Now, You want to make sure that your hips are supported, not your lower back. Okay, your hips are supported, your feet are hip distance apart, your toes are flexed toes pointing up. Bring your arms over your head, palms up, hands are shoulder distance apart. Once you are here, you're going to stretch the right side of your body by sending your right heel forward. Only stretching the right side of your body. Send your right heel forward, forward, and release. Send your left heel forward, stretching the left side, and release. You're going to do it again. Send the right heel forward, and release. And send the left heel forward, and release. Then you're going to take the side of your right hip to the right. Without turning your hips are still squared to the ceiling. And return to center, and left goes to left. And center. Right goes to right, and center, and left goes to left, and center. Then you're going to take your right hip bone up to the ceiling. And drop. Left hip bone goes up, and drop. Right goes up, and drop, and left goes up, and drop. Notice that in all these three exercises that we've done, your feet are hip distance apart, and your hands are shoulder distance apart. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring your knee, right knee to your chest, and use both hands to pull your right knee to your chest. And as you do that, you want to extend your left leg. Your left heel travels forward, toes still pointing at the ceiling. And this opens, by extending your left leg, you're opening your psoas major. And you're going to be here at least 5 to 10 breaths. And then you're going to move your right foot clockwise. So slow movement clockwise of the right foot, bringing energy to the ankle. And counterclockwise. Then you're going to place your left hand against your left hip bone and pull your left hip bone to the left. Place your right hand against the outside of your right knee and slowly drop your knee towards the floor on the right side. As you drop that knee, you want to create a 90-degree angle with your right leg. So take a look at your leg and create a 90-degree angle. Your foot is also active. Your heel reaches forward. Then you may want to look over your left shoulder and activate your left leg. Your left leg does not turn. Your left leg is squared to the ceiling as well as your hips. You're going to stay here for at least 6 breaths. Then you're going to bring your knee up and change hands. Your left hand is going to go on the outside of your right knee, and you're going to push that knee to the left without turning your hips or without turning your left leg, opening the glute area. For a deeper stretch of the glute, what you do is you take your right heel to the right, but your right knee still goes to the left. Make sure that you're activating left leg, and the inside of your left knee rolls down towards the center of your mat. Again, 6 breaths, 6 to 10 breaths, then return to center, change hands and drop. So we are repeating the same movement 3 times. Keep activating that left leg, which grounds your left hip on the bolster. Bring your knee up again, change hands and push. Knee to center again, change hands and drop. We're gonna include an exercise for the knee. So I want you to bring your awareness at your right knee and support your right knee from the outside with your right hand. And I want you to fully extend your right leg to the right. Your heel reaches for the right, straightening that leg. Inhale, exhale, bend your knee. Make sure that you're supporting your knee from the outside with your right hand. Again, extend your leg, heel reaches, exhale, bend your knee. And one more time, inhale, extend your leg, heel reaches, exhale, bend your knee. And bring your knee up. Last one, change hands, push your knee to the left. Make sure you're still activating the left leg. Push, push, push. And return to center and release your leg on the floor. Give yourself a full stretch, arms over your head, arch your back, point your toes, gaze behind you, inhale. Exhale, arms in front of you, bring your left knee to your chest. Good, both hands pulling left knee to your chest, extending your right leg, right heel reaches forward, opening psoas, left knee for your chest. So now we move to the other side. And you're going to take your left foot in a circular motion clockwise. And counterclockwise. And place your right hand against your right hip, pulling that hip to the right. Place your left hand against the outside of your left knee. Slowly drop your knee to the left. Make sure that you're activating your right leg, straightening the leg. Your hips are squared to the ceiling. And creating a 90-degree angle with your left leg. Your foot is active. Bring your knee up, change hands, push your knee to the right. As you push that knee, you make sure that you are not turning your hips or your right leg. The inside of your right knee rolls down to the center of your mat. So that's very important. And also your left heel comes a little bit to the left. And you feel a deeper stretch of the glute. Return to center, change hands and drop. Center, change hands, push. Center, change hands, drop. Now you're going to place your hand on the outside of your left knee and fully extend your left leg. Awareness at your left knee. Make sure you're still activating your right leg. Inhale, exhale, bend your knee. Keep supporting that knee from the outside. Again, inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, bend your knee. One more time, inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, bend your knee. And bring your knee up, change hands, and push the knee to the right. And return to center. Now, keep that knee up, bring your right knee to meet the left one. Feet together, knees together, wrap your hands around your knees, pulling knees to your chest. We're going to stretch now spinal cord. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, forehead to your knees. Drop your head on the floor. Again, inhale, exhale, forehead to your knees. Drop your head on the floor. One more time, inhale, exhale, forehead to your knees. And drop your head on the floor. Keep your right knee bent towards your chest. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. Now, both hands, you're going to place both hands against your right knee and push the knee down to your chest as your left leg extends towards the ceiling. Your left heel reaches for the ceiling. And from here, I want you to point and flex your left foot. So keep doing that, stretching your calf, hamstring, and part of the glute. After 10 seconds, You're gonna cross your legs. So you're gonna bring your right ankle against your left thigh. Now, I want you to bend your left knee, okay? So I want you to relax that left leg. If you keep your leg straight and you're activating your hamstring, I do not want you to activate your hamstring. This is a hip opener. So I want you to grab your left under thigh with both hands. And look at her arms. She brings her right arm in between her legs, okay? And that's exactly what I want you to do. Once you get a hold of your left under thigh, I want you to pull your thigh towards your chest. Both hands pull your thigh to your chest, and your right elbow pushes your right thigh away from you. Also, you want to still keep your sacrum on the bolster. And the last thing, check your thighs. Don't twist your body to one side or the other one. Your left thigh should be parallel to your spine. So both hands pull, and your right elbow pushes right thigh away from you. We're going to do another exercise for the knee. So I want you to bring your awareness at your left knee, and I want you to extend your left leg. Fully extend your left leg. Your heel reaches for the ceiling. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, bend your knee. Again, inhale, straighten your leg, heel reaches. Exhale, bend your knee. And one more time, inhale, straighten your leg, heel reaches. Exhale, bend your knee. Stay here for another 5 to 6 breaths. And then you're going to keep your legs crossed and drop your left foot on the floor. Good. And then you're going to move first your left heel closer to the bolster. Then I want you to grab your right ankle with your left hand. And imagine your ankle being glued to your thigh. Okay? Now, I want you to open your right arm on the floor, palm down, shoulder grounded on the floor. And rolling on the left side of your hip, your whole lower body moves together. Slowly, you're going to drop your right foot on the floor. If you cannot reach the floor, you can place the foot on a block. You must support your right foot. So either you bring the foot on the floor or you place it on a block, as I said before. Once your foot is supported, I want you to send your right knee away from you. And as you send your knee away from you, you also want to bring your awareness at your right hip bone and send it away from you. The stretch starts from your right hand, goes to your right shoulder. From your right shoulder goes to your right hip bone. From your hip bone to your right knee. And from there, it goes all the way down to your foot. So this is another example of the movement of energy from your fingers all the way down to your toes. This is one of the benefits of using this type of bolster, because the angle by using this type of bolster is deeper on all this area right here. What do you do with your right knee? You just kind of drop it down towards the floor. You stay here for 10 breaths, and then you come up. And extend both legs up. And shake your legs. And then bring your arms over your head, arch behind you, point your toes, inhale, exhale, arms in front of you, reaching for your toes, and you're going to drop your left knee to your chest and keep your right leg extended. Right heel reaches for the ceiling, left knee for your chest, and you're going to point and flex your right foot. Again, you're going to be here for 8 to 10 seconds. And then you're going to cross your legs. So this time, left ankle against your right thigh. Again, bend that right knee. Don't keep the leg straight. Relax your leg. Grab your right under thigh. You bring your left arm from the inside. Get a grasp of your under thigh and pull in the thigh to your chest as your right elbow pushes, as your left elbow pushes your left thigh away from you. Your right thigh is parallel to your spine. Your sacrum is on the bolster. So again here for 10, 12 seconds, and then awareness at your right knee and fully extend your right leg. Heel reaches, inhale, exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, extend your leg. Exhale, bend. One more time, inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Wait a couple of seconds. And you're going to keep your legs crossed and drop your right foot on the floor. Then you're going to move your right heel closer to the bolster. Keep your legs crossed. Again, imagine your ankle attached to your thigh. Grab your left ankle with your right hand. Open your left arm on the floor. Palm down, shoulder grounded on the floor. And rolling on the right side of your hip, slowly drop your foot on the floor, if not the block. I want you to take notice of her foot again. It has to be supported, floor or block. Your right knee drops to the floor, your left knee goes away from you. Bring your awareness at your left hip bone and send it away from you. Keep your left arm grounded on the floor, and from your hand to your shoulder, from your shoulder to your hip bone, to your knee, all the way down to your foot. That's the whole stretch. Opening the external rotator of the hip, but as well open the lateral sheath of your body, from your fingers all the way down to your foot. And again, 10 to 12 seconds, and you're going to bring your legs up. Extend, shake your legs, arms over your head. Arms over your head, arch your back, point your toes. Exhale, reach in for your toes. Release your head on the floor, and I want you to drop your right knee towards your chest. Now, this time you're going to grab your ankle, and I want you to bring your heel up. So you're creating a 90-degree angle with your right leg. You can grab your calf, you can grab your ankle, or ideally both hands against the bottom of your right foot. If you cannot reach, then you can use a strap. And we're going to demonstrate what you do with the strap. You want to grab the strap, open it, and grab it on both sides, both hands, and push your leg down. Your knee is going to go to either your chest, armpit, or floor. Your left leg is extended. Your hips are squared to the ceiling. So Maria, can you show your knee to your chest first? So there, number one, if that's easy, take the knee to your armpit. And if that's easy, bring the knee all the way down to the floor. The most important thing is that you're not turning your hips. Your sacrum is still grounded on the bolster, your hips are squared to the ceiling, and you're activating this left leg. And then by doing this exercise, we're moving towards opening the lower back. You're going to stay here for 6 to 10 seconds, and then you change sides. Chest, armpit, or floor. Using your nose for your breathing, never your mouth. And this goes for all the poses today. I'll take the strap away from you. And release. Extend both legs up, shake your legs, bring your arms over your head, arch your back, point your toes, gaze behind you. Inhale, exhale, reach in for your toes. Bend your knees, drop your feet on the floor, move your heels close to the bolster, push your hips up, move the bolster to the side. See if you can touch your heels with your fingers, arms on the sides, palms down. Push your hips using your feet, your thigh, and your glute. Exhale, drop your hips down. Again, inhale, push your hips up, push, push, push. Exhale, drop. One more time, inhale, push your hips up. Exhale, drop. Now I want you to fully give yourself a stretch. Extend your legs, arms over your head, arch your back, point your toes, stretch, stretch, inhale. Exhale, arms in front of you, looking at your toes. Bend your knees, feet together, feet on the floor, knees together. This time, I want you to fully cross your right leg on top of the left one and bring your foot around and hook it in place. If you cannot bring your foot around and hook it in place, that's fine. Okay? We're moving towards opening the lower back. So there's a lot of cues on this one, and be very mindful with what you are doing for this to be a successful stretch. So the first thing to do is to walk your left foot to the left without lifting the foot. You're going to walk the foot as far as you can without displacing your hips. Your hips are glued to the floor and squared to the ceiling. So you're not really going to go too far. Once you finish, you're going to extend your right arm over your head. Palm up and shoulder is grounded on the floor. Your right shoulder becomes your anchor and should always be grounded on the floor. Now, I want you to turn your head to the right and look up at your right hand. From here, you're going to place your left hand against your right knee. And slowly drop your knee to the floor on the left side. As you drop your knee to the floor, I want you to send your abdominals up towards your right hand, allowing for a better twist of your spine. So ideally, you should have your right shoulder on the floor and your right knee on the floor on the opposite side. And this tells you how much your lower back is tight. The most important thing of this stretch is to keep the right shoulder on the floor, and from there you slowly drop your knee to the floor on the opposite side. You're going to stay here for at least 15 to 20 seconds. Notice also that the right side of your rib cage goes to the right. So your upper body is going to the right and your lower body goes to the left. Slowly come up. Slowly walk your left foot to center. And then undo your crossing. You're going to open your arms to the sides, palms down. Align your hands with your shoulders. And you're going to windshield your knees left and right. Keep your feet together, feet on the floor and knees together. Then what you're going to do is you're going to drop your knees to the floor on the left side. And fully extend your legs. If you are lifting your right shoulder off the floor, you're going to support your legs with a block or two blocks. Then you're going to place the base of your left hand against your right hip bone. And push your hip bone away from you. Now, both legs are active as well as your feet. All right, and then you want to keep that right shoulder grounded on the floor. The stretch starts again from your fingers to your shoulder, to your hip bone, to your heels. So activating all those parts of your body, and the base of your left hand pushes that hip bone away from you. You're going to push that hip bone so much that you're going to be able to straighten your arm. 3, At least 10 breaths on this one, 2, and bend your knees and return to center. Place your feet on the floor, feet together, knees together, open your arms to the sides, palms down, and again, windshield your knees left and right. And return to center. Now, we're going to do the stretch for lower back on the other side, so I want you to fully cross your left leg on top of the right one. Bring your foot around, hook it in place. Don't move your hips. Don't lift your right foot, and then slowly walk. Don't lift. Walk your right foot to the right without displacing your hips. You stop the minute you're going to start to, before you start displacing your hips. Extend your left arm over your head, palm up, shoulder grounded on the floor. Left shoulder becomes your anchor. Turn your head to the left. Look up at your left hand. Take your abdominals up towards your left hand. Place your right hand against your left knee and slowly drop your knee to the floor. And again, most important is to keep your left shoulder on the floor. From there, you drop. And that tells you how much you need to open your lower back. Abdominals go up, left side of your rib cage to the left. And breathe in using your nose. 15 to 20 seconds. And then you're going to come up and slowly walk your foot to center. And do your crossing, feet together, knees together. Open your arms to the sides, palms down. Windshield your knees left and right. And return to center and drop your knees to the floor on the right side and fully extend your legs to the right. Again, here you have the option of supporting your legs with a block or two, or the bolster, if you are lifting your left shoulder off the floor. If you are not, then it's fine to place your legs on the floor. Place the base of your right hand against your left hip bone. Push it away from you, activating your legs. Both legs are straight, as well as activating your feet. Look over your left shoulder. Keep your left shoulder grounded on the floor. Extend your left arm, palm on the floor. Spread your fingers. And we're going to take here 10 breaths. Bend your knees and return to center. Feet on the floor, feet together, knees together. And again, windshield your knees left and right. And you're going to return to center with your feet together, your knees together. Okay, one more for opening your lower back. I want you to place your hands at the nape of your neck. And then you're going to inhale, drop your head on the floor, elbows on the floor, and arch your lower back. So your rib cage goes up. Keep your hips grounded on the floor, arch your lower back, elbows on the floor, gaze behind you, inhale, exhale, drop, lift your head up, bring your elbows towards each other, looking at your thighs. So the movement only comes from your lower back. Again, drop your head on the floor, arch your lower back, elbows on the floor, inhale, exhale, lift your head up, elbows towards each other, looking at your thighs, rounding spine. One more time. Arch, drop, inhale, exhale, lift your head up, looking at your thighs, elbows towards each other, and release. Bring your knees to your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees, lift your head off the floor, rock your body back and forth, and come into a seated position. So now we're going to move to hip openers. And what I want you to do is you're going to use your strap. So you're going to bring the strap around your right foot. And you're going to grab the strap with your left hand. You're going to place your right hand against the base of your right thigh. And lay down, bringing your right leg up. We start by opening your hip flexor, your right hip flexor. So your left hand is going to pull the strap, your right big toe goes to your right shoulder on a straight line, your right hand pushes the muscle straight out. Now I want you to activate your left leg, toes pointing at the ceiling, your sacrum is grounded on the floor, abdominals engage, opening your right hip flexor. Your anchor on this pose becomes your sacrum. So you must activate your left leg, which activates your sacrum, and from there you're going to stretch your hip flexor. You're going to stay here for at least 10 breaths, and then I want you to change hands and place your left hand against your left hip, grounding your left hip on the floor. From here, you're going to open your right leg towards the floor on the right side. As you drop your leg, you check first your foot, your right foot. The outside of your foot is parallel to the floor. Your toes point to your face. Then you look over your left shoulder and you activate your left leg, which keeps your hips from turning to the right. So your hips are squared to the ceiling as well as your left leg. If you find this to be difficult, what you can do is you can support your right leg with a block this way or up higher. Bring your leg up, Maria, and support it right there on the calf. This stretch opens your abductor. You're going to stay here for 10 to 15 seconds. Then you're going to bring your leg up, change hands, and your right hand is going to grab the muscle, base, front muscle of your thigh, and this time you're going to roll it counterclockwise, which is to the right. Now, make sure that you're not turning your full leg. Your whole leg does not go. Only the muscle goes. So that's where you isolate the muscle, you grab it, and you roll it counterclockwise to the right. Once you've done that, you want to activate your left leg again, and you're going to pull the strap so your right big toe goes to your left shoulder. Right big toe goes to your left shoulder. As you pull the strap, your right hand rolls the muscle away from you, and this opens your adductor. And you're going to stay here for, again, 10 to 15 counts. Return to center, open your straps, bring your left foot inside, and release your right leg on the floor. So, same 3 major exercises to open your hips, and we're going to move to the left side. You're going to see a different angle. So you're grabbing with your right hand and your left hand against the base of your right thigh. Your left hand pushes the muscle straight out. Your right hand pulls the strap so your left big toe goes to your left shoulder on a straight line. Your sacrum is grounded on the floor, extending your right leg, and your foot is also active. Abdominals are also engaged. So another thing that you want to do is you want to keep your right arm extended like she has, and that gives you more control over your leg, and that gives you also more of a way of pulling your leg towards your shoulder. And change hands. Right hand against your right hip, grounding that hip on the floor. Make sure that you're not turning your hips. Drop your leg, the outside of your foot parallel to the floor, your toes point to your face. Look over your right shoulder, activating your right leg, abdominals engaged, sacrum grounded. Your sacrum is still your anchor. Bring your leg up. And the last one, change hands. Left hand grabs the muscle from the base, roll it clockwise, and your left big toe goes to your right shoulder. Sacrum grounded and activating leg on the floor. So the hips are an area in our bodies that tighten the most. for many reasons. It can be nutrition. It can be that we spend a lot of hours sitting. It also takes a lot of the weight of the upper body. So gravity has also a toll on your hips. And hips are an area in our bodies that we need to open almost every day. By doing these 3 exercises, you're going to be opening your hips, which also release your lower back. Your hips move in 8 different ways. So imagine how they can get tight very easily. And release. Extend your legs on the floor. Okay, so now we're going to do a piriformis IT band stretch, which is also good to heal sciatica if you have any sciatica issues. So what I want you to do is I want you to bring your right knee to your chest, and I want you to support your right heel with your left hand. Your right hand is going to go against the inside of your right knee. The first thing you do is you check your calf. Your calf should be parallel to the floor. Also, you need to activate your left leg, and your hips are squared to the ceiling. So your right hand is going to push your right knee away from you. Your left hand pulls heel towards your left shoulder. And the last thing you do is you're going to take your heel to the right without turning your hips or your left leg. Push, pull, slide. 10 breaths. And release. Shake your legs, bring your arms over your head, arch your back, point your toes, gaze behind you. Inhale. Exhale, arms in front of you, lift your head up looking at your toes. Bring your left knee to your chest. Let's do the other side so you can see a different angle of the stretch. Support your heel with your right hand. Place your left hand against the inside of your left knee. Check your calf, should be parallel to the floor. Activating your right leg, push with the left, pull with the right, and take your heel to the right. So push, pull, and slide that heel to the right. Don't turn your right leg and don't turn your hips. 4, 3, 2, and release. I shortened the length, but you can take 10 seconds on each side. Arms over your head, arch your back, point your toes, gaze behind you. Inhale, exhale, arms in front of you, lift your head up looking at your toes. Bring your knees to your chest. Rock your body back and forth, lift your head off the floor, and come into a seated position. And now you're going to grab your blocks and come into table pose. Your hands are under your shoulders, your knees below your hips. Inhale, look up at the ceiling, arch your back, drop your belly. Exhale, gaze at your navel, rounding thoracic spine and pressing belly bottom against your spine. Again, inhale, look up, arch your back, drop your belly. Exhale, gaze at your navel. One more time, inhale, up. Exhale, navel. And I want you to bring your knees together and your big toes together. You're going to curl your toes under, grab your blocks, and bring the blocks back, sitting on your heels. Align the blocks with your hips. Use the blocks to lift your knees off the floor. You're sitting against your heels, standing on the balls of your feet as high as you can, opening your toes, your plantar fascia. Knees up, standing as high as you can on the balls of your feet. Release your knees on the floor, grab your blocks, bring the blocks forward, mat distance apart. From here, keep your hands, ground your hands on the blocks, straighten your arms, and slowly walk your knees back. Okay, you don't want to walk your knees too far back because you want to keep your knees directly below your hips. So what you're going to do is you're going to send your tailbone back, straighten your arms, send your hips back to the wall behind you, and slowly drop your center of your chest. So as you drop, you can adjust the blocks. Going forward, I want you to press hands against the blocks, straighten your arms are active, the center of your chest drops to the floor. Keep your lower back arch. Keep your knees below your hips. Tailbone to the wall behind you. 4, 3, 2, and lay down. As you lay down, push the blocks forward. Straighten your arms, hands on the blocks. Your hands are shoulder distance apart as well as your feet. Lift your right hand off the block. Lift your left foot off the floor. Stretch both ends and drop. Let's do the other side. Lift your left hand off the block, right foot off the floor, and drop. We're moving to opening shoulder opener, and you want to keep your arms on the sides, palms down. This is the ideal pose right here. We're going to start with opening the left shoulder. If you have any issues with your left shoulder, what you do is you move your left hand down closer to your hip. And the more issues you have with your shoulder, the closer your hand to your left hip. You do have to keep your palm on the floor. Okay, so in other words, don't turn your hand. So keep your palm against the floor. So now you're going to bring your feet together and you're going to roll on the left side of your body and turn. And you're going to move your right hand close to your face, hand on the floor, your elbow is bent, your elbow points at the ceiling. The first thing you do is you're going to line your heels with the top of your head. Then you're going to bend your right knee and place your right foot on the floor behind your left leg. Your anchor is going to become your left leg. So you need to activate your left leg and roll it towards the right one. So all of your toes are pointing at the ceiling. That becomes your anchor. From here, you're going to push yourself back so your hips are squared to the ceiling. And again, this stretch goes from your left hand to your left shoulder. And it goes from your left shoulder, it travels all the way down to your left heel. So it's important that you activate your left foot, your left leg, going all the way up to your left shoulder. And return to center. So we're moving to the other side. So right shoulder opener. If you have any issues with your right shoulder, you move your hand down closer to your hip. Right shoulder, right hand. If not, keep your arm extended on the side. Palm always against the floor. Turn your gaze at your left hand. Bend your left elbow, move your hand close to your face. Elbow is bent, pointing at the ceiling and rolling on the right side of your body. Turn. First, you align your heels with the top of your head. Then you're going to bend your left knee and place your left foot on the floor behind your right leg. And from there, you push yourself back, squaring your hips to the ceiling. The other thing you can do is you can place your right hand on a block. We're using the cork. Place your hand on a block, and from there you can push yourself back a little more. Activating your right leg. Remember, your right leg becomes your anchor. And release, return to center. Now I want you to grab your 2 blocks, bring the blocks under your shoulders. You're going to move the blocks back so your fingertips are aligned with your nipples. Bend your elbows. I want you to roll your thighs outwards so your little toes are pressing on the floor. It is important to keep your little toes on the floor. That opens your sacrum, which is what we're doing this stretch. Squeeze your buttocks, gaze in front of you, and lift your spine. Your forehead goes up, your belly button goes down, and your little toes are pressing on the floor. Lift up a little higher. 4, 3, 2, release. Bring your forehead on the floor. From here, you're going to come into table pose. Bring the blocks together. And then from here, you're going to lift your knees off the floor. Walk your feet towards the blocks. Bring the blocks together. And come up, standing position. And I want you to stand on the blocks, but I want you to grab the bolster. Now, you're going to Bring the bolster against your lower abdominal area. Lift your abdominal wall, bring it on top of the bolster and folding over. Drop your arms on the floor, letting your upper body just drop, using gravity to stretch your spine. From here, you can swing your body left and right. And return to center. Now, I want you to place your hands on the sides of your head. Remember, don't place your hands on the back of your head. You can grab your ears, sides of your head, open your elbows, and pull your head down to the floor, stretching your cervical area. So pull, pull, pull for 5, 4, 3, 2, place your hands against your lower back, and with your knees bent, slowly come up one vertebra at a time, all the way up. It's okay if the bolster drops to the floor. Push your hips forward, look up at the ceiling, elbows towards each other, open your chest, square your chest to the ceiling, and release. And you're gonna come standing on the floor. And we're gonna move to neck openers. So I want you to bring your left arm around your back. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to be standing hip distance apart. So your feet are hip distance apart, and I want you to ground your little toe, big toe on the floor, lift the other toes off the floor. That activates your arches, 3 arches of your feet. Lift your kneecaps. Left arm around your back, turn your head to the right. Place your right hand on the back of your head. Now you want to grab the back of your head, spray your fingers so you get a nice grip of the back of your head. And you're going to push your head down so your chin goes to either your nipple or your armpit. And you can find the angle where you feel the most stretch. The stretching from the neck and goes all the way down to your shoulder blade. Now you must keep your torso squared to the front, stand straight, tuck your tailbone in, your core is active, lift your arches, and your right hand pushes your head down. Not only pushes your head down, but the back of your head goes up to the ceiling. So your right hand also pushes the back or pulls the back of your head up to the ceiling. Now you're going to stay here for 10, 15 breaths. Then you're going to move your right hand to the left side of your head, above your left ear. Lift your chin up slightly, not too much, and use your fingers to pull the left side of your head to the right. As you do that, your left shoulder goes down to the floor. So you're stretching fascia from the shoulder all the way down to the crown of your head. 10 breaths, 12, and release. Turn your gaze over your left shoulder, and turn your head to the right, and turn your head to the left. Now we're going to do the other side, so I want you to bring your right arm around your back. Place your left hand against the back of your head. Nice grip. Turn your head to the left, and push your head down. So your chin goes to either your nipple or your armpit. Tuck your tailbone in, stand straight, activate your feet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn Maria. You're going to turn Maria so you can see the front. All right, so from here, you're going to take 10 counts, and then you're going to slightly lift your chin up. Not too much, this is how much you're going to lift it. That's it. And then you're going to move your left hand to the right side of your head, above your right ear. Use your fingers to pull the right side of your head to the left. So as you do that, then your right shoulder drops down to the floor, and the stretch goes from the shoulder all the way to the crown of your head. Keep standing straight. Keep activating your feet. And right arm around your back. And release. Now gaze over your right shoulder, and gaze over your left shoulder, and center. Inhale, look up. Exhale, drop your chin to your sternum. For the last 3 exercises, we're going to be using the 2 blocks, and we're also going to use the wall. So I want you to grab one of the blocks, bring it against your right hip, short end against your hip, and walk to the wall, and that's the distance you're going to be standing from the wall. Your feet are hip distance apart. Then I want you to grab the other block from the short end and place it against the wall. The block is aligned with your chest. I want you to grab the block that is against your hip and take it to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, straightening your arm. Now you're not grabbing this block anymore, you are pressing against it. So I want you to spread your fingers. Then what I want you to do is I want you to look over your left shoulder. And the only thing that goes to the wall are going to be your hips. So drop your hips to the wall and turn away from the wall, looking over your left shoulder. Keep your right arm straight, and the energy travels from your right pectoral all the way to your right hand. Your left hand against the other block helps you to push yourself away from the wall. You can stay here for 10 counts and release, and then change to the other side. So again, turn around and take the measurement if you need to. Place the short end against your left hip, walk to the wall, and that's the distance you're going to be standing. Your feet are hip distance apart. Grab the other block, bring it against the wall, align it with your chest. Grab the block against your hip, and take it to 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Look over your right shoulder, drop your hips to the wall, your body turns away from the wall. Extending your left arm, activating your left hand from the pectoral to your hand, and release. So for the next one, you have to stand, if you're tall, 3 feet from the wall, 3.5 if you're short, 2.5 feet from the wall. I want you to grab the blocks from both short ends and place them against the wall. The blocks are going to be shoulder distance apart, and you want to straighten your arms as much as you can. Again, you're not grabbing the blocks anymore, you are pressing against the blocks. Now, I want you to keep your heels grounded on the floor and arch your lower back. Take your tailbone away from you, gaze at the wall, and the only thing that goes to the wall is your rib cage. See if you can bring your arms behind your head. Make sure that you're engaging your arms, engaging your dorsals, and activating your feet as you drop your rib cage to the wall. 3, 2, and release. You can stay here longer if you wish. You can stay here for 10 seconds. The last one we're going to do is I want you to grab a block, bring it against your hips. And you're going to be standing 1/2 foot away from the wall. Now, bend your knees slightly, a little less than that. Beautiful. Grab the other block from both short ends, straighten your arms, and you're going to take the block back and up for your back bend. Make sure that you're still pressing that block, other block with your hips, and take that block back and back and back. See if you can bring your arms behind your ears, straightening your arms, pressing on that block. Your heels are grounded on the floor, slightly bending your knees. 4, 3, 2, and release. And that ends all our therapeutic workout. Remember to treat your body kindly, because it's the only one you have. Namaste.